Engineer's log. Day 5 in the Omega system. Ship's running well enough. Reactor's clean. Hydrogen reserves are good, and I've got no major faults showing. Cargo's starting to look a little better. Still no chromium though. I've gone through every deposit I've found so far, and somehow I'm finding everything except what I actually came here for. Airlock's holding pressure. Oxygen reserves are good. Nothing exciting to report. Drill 2 took another beating today. I've patched the head and replaced a couple of damaged components. It'll hold.
Mayday, mayday. This is the Hawk. We've lost propulsion. We're coming in hard.
Wait, what was that?
Warning. Warning. Systems failing. Gravity detected. Warning. 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 Fire detected. Deploying emergency parachutes. Parachutes failed. Deploying emergency thrusters. Fire detected.
Engineer's log. Somehow, I survived the crash. Systems are damaged. Pretty good. Control seat damaged. Computer systems about 50% damaged. Cargo inaccessible. Survival kit functioning. Airlock leaking. From the look through the windows, the hydrogen tanks are also damaged, probably leaking as well. State of the ship. Unflyable. Hello and welcome back, survivors. I hope you enjoyed the intro. I had quite a bit of fun making it. Took me quite a while. let's go ahead and get started. So we have crashed on this planet. We're not going to use much of the ship, we're going to use the survival kit. We have nothing on this ship, we just have what we start with normally. That was a lot of fun making that video. So where are we? I literally just threw the ship down, so I don't really know what's around. Not bad. Alright. So there's gonna be a couple of guidelines that I'm gonna follow. First and foremost is every episode we're going to get something completely finished. And basically by that I mean we're going to build a ship from start to finish. We're gonna build a section of the base from start to finish. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab some of this iron, nickel, copper, and some of the silicon, and we'll get started on making a temporary stuff or shelter up there with some survival kit, recharge station going on, some power generation, and then we'll get started on the layout of the base. So we are using some mods on this one. Every week or two we're gonna check out a new mod. Take a deck panel. Oh. Alright. Something simple for now. Do it. So something that one of the glitches in the game that I've noticed, you'll notice that down on the left-hand side, my stat bars, they're not moving. Like I'm in creative, but I'm not. I'm in survival. So if you have that happen to you, I just normally do a quick save and a reload. And there we go. And so first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm going to get a smelter down. Going to get a cargo down. I'm just gonna opt for the big one. We're in a classic survival setting, so we have everything unlocked, so I'm just gonna go for this bigger one. And then I'm going to get a recharge station going, survival kit, and then a generator. So let's get this piped up. get these welded back and I'll be back. And so we did start on Chemic. And so we've got storms to deal with. Oxygen. And a thinner atmosphere. Which won't prove that much of a challenge. It's just a thinner atmosphere, it's not higher gravity. So atmospheric thrusters work basically the same. It takes a little bit more to lift the same amount, but the main difference is that the atmospheric ceiling is lower on the thrusters, which means we can't go as high as we would normally be able to. And it takes just a little bit more to lift the same weight, not a whole lot. So with a little bit of a modification, we can still use the miners that we built in the how-tos, which I will do a retrofit on the dirt nap for this planet. And then when we have the base structures available to us to use to make parts and we're living comfortably, then we can design some ships specifically for this and for this series. I will have a copy of this world up on the workshop with a link to it in the description of the first episode. I'll release that alongside with the first episode, so if you guys want, you can play along, have a custom start instead of just starting with that blue pill. You can take the red pill. Yeah, one of the major goals for this series is to build radio towers on every planet and moon and in between so that we can contact the carrier. So that'll give us something to work towards. And one thing too is that I'm going to build as if airtightness was a thing in here and that enemies are a thing, so which means not just a single layer of paneling. We're going to do armoring and heavy armoring, layers, piping for the turrets, making sure that everything has power, everything has ammo, thinking about defensibility, like if we have uranium and reactors, why would we build this solar tower that's easily shot? Like simple stuff like that. I think it will lead to some better building by me. Gonna put some batteries down so we have some power. Got some turbine blades going. Alright, our temporary shelter is done. I mean, not shelter, but, you know, got the basics. So, we need power generation. We need power generation. So, get some solar panels up before the sun comes up. Get some recharge going on, and then first things first, we're gonna build a miner. That way we can get some materials faster, and we'll modify it. Alright, so since the miner starts with brand new batteries, obviously when we build it, I'm gonna build the miner first before the power generation. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna take my dirt nap, place it. Blocks can be generated at the back there, that's fine. We'll put it in right there. And then I'm gonna come on the back of it, and we're gonna take these off. That removed this section here. So we'll put that back on, right like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first off give me a little bit more headroom. Always try and build with some headroom so that you don't have to twist yourself into tight spaces. I'm going to take this connector off, and this is the cargo container that's on it. I'm going to take that out. And basically from there, I'm just going to make sure that these are connected up. Put that connector back in so that we can connect up to the base. I'm going to leave the rear one on. I like attaching to the rear. Let me go ahead and work on that real quick. We could do something as simple as bring these conveyor slices and connecting it like that, but that takes up a lot of room for no reason, and I'd like this extra area maybe for some extra gyros or some extra batteries. So I'm going to take this adapter. Let me double check. Did I have 2 cargo containers on here? Or is this a tank? This is a conveyor adapter as well. So let's take that off as well. Yeah, there we go. And then we can do this. We'll take that adapter. We'll put it right there. And we'll take a small conveyor. And we'll bring it in line with this one. They should be lined up. Yep. That should connect that up, and the connector will connect these back up. Let's go ahead and get that back on. Alright, there we go. That should allow this to fully fly in this atmosphere. We will see. I'm gonna get this started welding up, and I'll show you a trick to get these welded up by hand. Alright, so since I deleted the structural blocks that it generated for me, I need to put some of my own down. So I'm going to bring this down here and just make sure that this is connected to the ground. Just like so. And all we need is one in them. They are only one anyways, but you don't have to fully weld them up. There. Okay, we'll put one steel plate into that. That connects to this battery. That battery connects to that. Alright. Let me go ahead and get a stockpile of ores, and then we'll build this out. I'll show you a nice simple trick to make sure that you get everything in the middle of it without the area welder. Look at that, the sun has come up. And drop off this load of ore, and we'll get in the air and look at where we are. It looks like we're in a bowl. That's a cool view. That must be Caligo and Delphos. Or is that the Earth-like? Are we that close? Is that the Earth-like and its moon? We'll have to get up there and look. Alright, it looks like there is a storm on the way too. Holy shit. Look at that hole. It was so dark I didn't even see it. I swear I did not create this hole. I didn't even know it was there. What is in here? Got some cobalt. Just a cave. It would be a shame to never build anything in here, so I think we're gonna have to have an episode where we build something down here. Maybe like a missile silo or something. That's cool. And it was really close to fucking falling all the way in there. Alright, we're gonna start building the miner now. So to start, I'm just gonna be queuing up some of the basic stuff that we're gonna need. We're gonna need some motors, we're gonna need electronic parts, we're gonna need a little bit of glass for the cockpit. We're gonna need a bunch of steel tubes. We're gonna make 45 for now. We're gonna need steel plates. We're gonna need a bunch of these components. We're gonna need a good amount of wire. We're gonna need some turbine blades for the bigger thrusters. I don't think we'll need some metal grids, but we'll build a couple of them anyways. And we'll leave it there for now. We'll grab some steel plates, some parts, some glass. Alright, with the cockpit fully built, can move on to the back of it, which this brings me to the, let me do this. This is my biggest tip for building blueprints, guys. My biggest tip is just delete what's in your way. Build it up. Oh, I don't have tubes. Let's grab some tubes. So yeah, delete what's in your way. Build what's behind it. Just like so. We need components, but whatever. And then press Control Z. Just like you're in creative, it will put the block back. So delete it, build, Control Z to put the block back, and then build that block. I'll demonstrate one more time. Right click to delete, build what's behind it. And Control Z. Just like so. I'm going to get this thing probably about 90% built before I bring you back. One last tip before I get this fully built is instead of, you know, building everything and then having to grind down your reverse thrusters so that you can make, you know, your braking thrust group in the control panel, just don't build them up all the way. Just stop before they're functional, just like this. And then when you're about to complete it, you know, just hop in the cockpit and select all the ones that are unbuilt and make your group and then finish it up. Saves you a step. Alright guys, I have it pretty much built up. We just need to get the compressors, which means we need an assembler. I'm just gonna slap one down right here. Motors. Gold thread. I'm gonna have to go mine some gold real quick for it. Shouldn't be too bad. Gold thread. Let's finish this up. I need more steel plates. We don't have any. Steel plate. It's good enough. Compressors. How many do we need? 12, I think. Yep. Alright. Alright, let's finish this up. Alright, we can get to fun stuff. I'm going to name all my groups. I'm going to group and name everything. And then we're going to do some real fun stuff with some event controllers because they are working for me, at least. It looked like they were working for some people. But they haven't been working until this update that dropped yesterday. So we're gonna do some heavy mass warnings for when we get full. We're gonna do parking. We're gonna do lights. It'll be fun. Alright guys, it's fully built. It's time to make a way for this to connect. So I'm thinking, and since we're going to be mining a lot more, thinking we're going to need some more cargo. All of this is still just a temporary setup. So I'm just going to build off of the back of this cargo container. Get a few more cargo containers and a connector. I figure we might as well just build the big cargo container. The only special thing it takes is heavy duty plate, which we can make now. I think we're gonna need 36. Ooh, some meteors. Alright. So let's queue up 50. I think we'll need like 48. I'll get this built up. Alright. So that's built up. Let's go ahead and get this thing over there, make sure everything's turned on. Looks like it is. Good, good. Seems to handle pretty good in this atmosphere. No issues. You know what? And I think at some point I may want to move the connector back one block or one small armor cube block back. So it's a little away from the... Oh, what's that? Let's take that away. But yeah, that way it's away from the landing gear. Alright, looks like it'll connect up just fine. I am going to do some mining trips until this is about empty, and then we'll have the materials to deal with our power generation situation. We'll get some solar towers up, and then we'll go from there. One quick thing that I wanted to talk about. I do have some mods on. I have the better ship drills 2x on, mainly for the main ship that you saw in the beginning, so that it would function correctly with the cockpit that I had in there. But with how much materials we need, it's not really gonna be game changing. It's still gonna be a lot of grinding for me to get the amount of iron that we're gonna need to build these bases. So I think I'm gonna keep it in. Let me know what you guys think. It's just my opinion. It doesn't change anything a whole lot. It just makes everything a little smoother. Changes it a little back to like SE1 status with the drills, which is kind of, to be honest, what I prefer anyway. But anyway, this is how it looks. So a little less of the monotonous hard rock to drill through kind of feeling that it was. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna have a lot of farming to do in between takes, so I think I'm gonna keep it in. But if the majority of people say they would prefer to see a vanilla build, then that would be fine with me. Just trying to make sure that I get every single node of iron out of this small ass deposit, so that it doesn't pop up on my thing anymore. I was just flying around. It looks like we've got a good mix of quite a lot in this area. I think the only thing that we're missing so far is like uranium and maybe titanium. So uranium would be nice without being able to program the solar rotors, or the rotors for the solar tower. Makes tracking the sun a little harder, but I think now I can do it. We'll go ahead and experiment with that, since the event controllers are working a little bit more, maybe with some timer blocks, some sensors maybe. We'll have to experiment and see. I'm gonna fly around, see if there is some uranium around, and then I'll come back. Alright, looks like there is uranium here. I somehow must have missed it the first 7 times that I was by here. So we're gonna grab a little bit of that and get a reactor going, and that'll solve all of our power problems. I have some uranium. I'm gonna grab some nickel, some iron, and then we'll get working on the base proper. Alright, got a reactor built. Is providing power. We are on our way to full on the batteries again. We have our miner built. We have a very basic temporary setup. Everything is going real good. It's a good start. So I think this is where I'm going to end our first episode. Please like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And keep on surviving out there. And have fun.